Alright, how about that? Is that better? I thought something was wrong with it. Ah, fucking thing. How about that? Alright. Alright, I got... You know, this OBS, man, it's not doing what I tell it to. It's just not. Whatever. I'll figure it out. Alright, let's start over. I just saw Mediocre's video here, and I thought I would comment a little bit on it. He kind of hits home with this. I had a little bit of a false accusation, but it didn't come to anything. Luckily, but for a lot of guys, false accusations are a real thing, and they happen. And I was on campus here at UF, last year, and there's a little table set up with a couple students, and you might see it. It's in my video. It's in one of my videos, and she tries to say that false accusations happens only like less than 1% of the time or something like that. I don't know where she got that from, but obviously I contested that. I should have said more, and I didn't. But false accusations happen a lot, like a lot. Like I would say at least 50% of the time, because it's not about stopping sexual assault all the time. It's what happens with allegations is they cause damage to someone. So women know this. So it's used as a weapon. It's used as a weapon to get back at you for them not being happy for whatever they are. Like look at Amber Heard. Look at her claims are false. But she does it because she wants something to happen of it. And she thought because she's female, it'll work. Unfortunately, she went against one of the most beloved actors of all time, so she just failed horribly. But I wasn't going to play this video because it's 25 minutes. I guess I probably should. I don't know. He goes on to talk about an issue he had, and he said that the problem he had was that he didn't act on his initial red flag sighting. And I'm really good at detecting red flags. Like, I'm really good at it. And everyone should look at it. They should not be blinded by the poon, right? Do not allow yourself to be blinded by the poon. It has a nice piece of ass. Always pay attention to it. People say, "Hey, crazy with girls are the best in bed." Yeah, but you don't want to see if that's true. You don't want to, because they be cray. And I've had a couple of times in my life where I know for a fact that I dodged a bullet by not allowing a girl to stay with me longer than she should have. Right? Like, yes, your reputation is a valuable thing. That's correct, Mick. And you have to make sure that you have to make sure that you only allow people in your place who seem reasonable. That's why it's very important to have conversations with girls and not bring them home from the club, right? Don't just bring them home from the club because they're a good time. You never know what's going to happen. And if you do bring girls back to your place, have a video camera somewhere, at least in your living room. Like, I have one in my living room. I don't have anyone and outside my house. I do. But at least I have one in my living room, so if stories were asserted, I've got something there that will at least back me up. It will not gonna back me up in the bedroom, but it'll back me up as far as other lies that were told. Blinded by the Poon. Is that? I swear to you, I had no idea that is any type of album title. Is that you just? Are you just making that up? Blinded by the Poon. But I just think that people really need to pay attention to the rationality of someone you're talking to them, because you should only be allowing people, women, especially women in your life who are of reasonable mind. This is why I like to date women who aren't from the U.S. Like right now, I'm talking to someone who is from Jamaica. She's only been here 3 years, right? And I like talking to her. The things I tell her about the U.S., she can't believe. So she has a mentality from not being here, and she has the morals of not being here. So I get to deal with someone who's possibly more reasonable, and just American women, they're scary. You really gotta vet them. Oh, I made it up. I really suggest I'm gonna put his URL to his video. I'll play a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Should I? I don't know.
That she had thrown my wallet behind the building, but I texted her back and I said, if you do not let me know where my keys are, I will call the cops.
Okay, so this is part of what happened. He met this chick and she came to his place and he was a little wary of her, and he tried to get rid of her and she wouldn't leave, and she did some crazy stuff, and you should pick up on this before it becomes to that level. Like if you're having conversation with someone, and you detect that they're not on the same wavelength, they're not of reasonable mind in any way, right there should be a red flag. You should go out the door. You should not bring back to your place, because false accusations happen, and when they happen, I mean, there's so many stories you can pull up of false accusations. Men kill themselves over false accusations. Even when they're innocent and they're shown to be innocent, their reputation is gone, their college is gone, the finances are gone, their friends are gone. Even if they're found innocent, they don't get their friends back. They don't get their support back. Unlike being sexually assaulted, where you have all this support in the world, you don't have any when you're being falsely accused as a man. You're a man. You're not a woman. No one's looking out for you. You're a producer. You're not loved unconditionally like a woman, a child, and a dog are. So a lot of men and kids have killed themselves over having to deal with this, and it causes a PTSD. It causes issues for years. I would even assert that a false accusation, quite often, as much as rape and sexual assault in general is a bad thing, I would assert and put money that false accusations are worse and cause more damage than actual sexual assault. Like, I will make that assertion. And your average woman hearing that, or feminist or simp hearing that, will be like, oh, well, she's just saying that you did it, But they're not taking all of the things that go into being accused into account. They're not doing that. You're just seeing it as, oh, we just said you said something. But they don't see the damage that was caused behind the scenes. So I've had plenty of people, I've made that assertion, and then they're just like, well, it's just, they wrinkle their nose, they can't believe I've said that. Sexual assault. So sexual assault, rape, they're bad. They are bad. But when you engage in something that causes the total destruction of someone's life, PTSD to a high degree, depression, suicide, loss of life, when you've been sexually assaulted or raped, you have support groups, you have people who care for you and want and here to help you. They'll assist you in any way they can. When you have people there, totally different, totally different. And I think that that's something that we should take into account. So, like, definitely watch this guy's video. He talks all about, watch for the red flags. He talks about how he didn't see, well, he might have seen some red flags, but he didn't act on them. I don't know why. Maybe his PP was thinking for him. I'm not sure, but Jamaica, or did she do it willingly? I don't know what you mean, Mick. I'm talking to someone who is from Jamaica, who's been here for 3 years, so she's not Americanized, which is, I think, a good thing. Because the women here, they'd be a bit cray-cray. Like, I just saw Pearlie's video, and this guy did a demonstration of how you win at dating with American women, and it was just like, I don't want to go through that. Oh, I see. Yeah. Sorry, little retarded tonight. So yeah, we'll play a few more minutes because I'm like just gonna ramble.
Because I don't play that. I'm not a kid. I'm not a tit for tat. You do this to me, I do this to you. Card. But you got everything back. And I was like, cool. Well, it's just for record keeping, just in case something else happens down pat. It shows that I interacted with you and that I instigated contact with you, so it would prevail positively on me, right? Trying to protect myself. Here's why I messed up. While the cop was in there, I took a photo of him in my crib and I sent it to her. That's where I messed up. Okay, so the officer leaves. I think the situation is done. 30 minutes later.
Yeah, what happened was a girl called the cops too. And someone else called his phone, and it was just, he was being set up. But because he called the cops first and took documentation and stuff like that, he saved himself. So it's really important that when you're engaging with someone who's questionable and you can't quite get out of it right away, that, your phone here, I don't know what you guys have for a phone, but for my phone here, I can hit the, I pull down the pull-down menu here, and hit the record button. Just tap on it, and I can start recording someone's voice. All the voices around me. It's really important. You can also, while it's off, you can double tap. And he talks about this. You can double tap the phone here, the power button. It'll go into a camera mode. You can switch to video. But I found that going to record, you can have the screen off. You can hit record. You can do this, hit record, and turn off your screen. And it'll continue recording. Put it in your pocket. Put the microphone up like this, so it goes in your pocket like this, and you can record stuff around you, just holding your hand or whatever, and no one's the wiser. Okay, it's just really important that you have something to guard yourself, because you want to do everything you can to avoid. Your life can go to hell. Like, some of you might not think it's a big deal, but your life can go upside down if you deal with a cray-cray who is used to getting her way because she might be attractive to some degree, but she's a few screws loose. So
I get a call on my phone from a number I do not recognize, and it's voice I do not recognize, but it sounds eerily and unmistakably like your generic hood booger. And hello, all
hood burger.
And I'm like, hello?
Let's jump to the end.
Defend myself, even if it was something as I grabbed the pole from her and then it accidentally hit her and she had a bruise on her shoulder or something like that. Imagine if that happened.
Yeah, he talks about how it's important not to lay hands on the woman who's you're having a conflict with, because it can always come back to you and look bad on you. But if you have a camera in your place and you have some evidence to support it and you need her gone, I'd probably just escort her out. Put her arm behind her back and escort her out. As long as I have video evidence of it, I would do that.
These stories to inform those that have not yet to experience these things in a way that if you do come across it and you start to see some of these signs, you're not oblivious to the situation. You have a little bit of the game from those who might have experienced it before you. And in fact, write comments down in the description box down below, because I know I'm not one of the only people that had suffered through something similar to this. I have boys that were accused of rape, and knowing for damn sure that they didn't do anything of the sort, right? So this can happen. Protect yourselves. More stories to come. If you guys enjoy these type.
Yeah, he says some good stuff. I like his channel. I don't know if I'll ever be as successful as him, but it's very important that we do whatever we can. Please, I'll put the thing in the description. Do everything you can to protect yourself, because false accusations happen so much. And here's what I think should happen. I think that anyone who falsely accuses you of something like sexual assault or rape without you being convicted, I think it should be a crime. I don't think women should be able to go online and accuse someone of doing something, or go into your employer and say you did something when there's no evidence, get you fired, whatever, get you kicked out of school, Title IX stuff, without evidence. There should be evidence, and if there's no evidence, she should go to jail, right? Because there's already ramifications when someone accuses you of something. Your whole life done, gone, right? So, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it. I don't know how that would ever come to be. I don't know how we can ever enforce that. I guess it's going to take a lot more. For men's rights, these false accusations are very important. I want to tackle them almost as bad as I want to tackle the child support. I think men should not have to pay for child support for a baby that was created without their consent. I think it's hard. It's a toss-up between the two, because these are two things that men suffer from that are totally destroy their lives. Especially, but maybe it's the same. I don't know. Maybe it's the same. Maybe I care about the same. I'm not sure. Yeah. Let's see, Mick. If you've had a few drinks, it's going to be more difficult to think about protecting yourself against what. Yeah, that's true. That's why you've got to be diligent. I don't know. I don't drink, so I'm not sure what it's like to be tipsy or drunk. I have no idea what that's like. No clue. Never been high. I don't know. I'm kind of an introvert in a way. I don't really go out and party too much. I guess I could do that. I don't know. But I don't think I'll ever drink. I might do DMT one day if I ever find somebody to help me with that. But other than that, no. So, yeah. I can go on more searches. But let's just do a search in false accusations. Oh, this guy is really good. I don't know if you guys know this guy here, Alexander Grace. This dude here can talk and talk well. He articulates himself. He makes great videos. I will never, ever be as good as this mofo, because he's all about people and psychology and understand people. He makes really good sense. He does a great job. I've never seen this video. Let's look real quick.
Fear is not inherently a bad thing. In a lot of instances, fear can actually protect you. There are definitely some irrational fears, no doubt. You can be paranoid for no justifiable reason, but being afraid of fire, of poison, of falling from tall heights, these are good fears. In this video, I want to scare you, and the reason is because there is a very real danger out there. Unless you're scared of it, you might not realize how much danger that you're in until it's too late. I'm talking.
Yeah, DMT is intense. I only want to do it once, Mick. I heard 5-MeO DMT is really good. Since I've never been drunk or high before, people are telling me it might be too much for me, but I need something to make me, have a better outlook in life, so I want to do it once. I pay child support for, let's see, Unky. I paid child support for 24 years on 2 kids willingly, but that's because they were a part of my life. Well, that's good. If they're a part of your life, that's good. I think in an ideal situation, if she had kids without your consent, you shouldn't have to pay, but you can still be part of their life if she agrees. I think that's a good way to be part of a child's life. If she cannot make you pay for something, I think all the interactions you have It's because you want to, and that will be healthier, I think. So, 24 years, huh? I couldn't do that, dude. Couldn't do that. I don't know. I don't have kids, so I can't really comment on that.
Talking about false accusations, and I've done enough private consultations with men dealing with this that I think it's important enough to do an entire video just on this. Now, when you hear the terms false accusation, mostly in this cultural context, most people will think of the Me Too movement. As a man, you need to be scared of the possibility that women are going to accuse you of rape.
Yep, it can happen to anybody. Anybody. It's a weapon. It's a weapon and it's used a lot. Do not pay attention to the people who say to you, oh, it's a low percentage. It's a low. No.
Of sexual assault, sexual harassment, something like that. You should be scared of that, but there are many other things that you need to be scared of as well. You could be accused of being violent. You could be accused of being abusive. You could just be accused of being a horrible, rotten boyfriend. Any of these accusations can completely ruin your reputation and have strong, real-life consequences.
Kicked out of school, loss of scholarship, kicked out of football team. Have you guys seen that movie? What's that movie with that black? Who's that guy? Who's that black guy who lost his scholarship, went to jail, his whole career shot? He was going to be a football player. It's a really good movie. The name escapes me. Loss of your home, of your job, of all your friends, of your peace of mind. You can't function in life because you're traumatized so much. This guy is speaking facts. This is true. Mick, just do it. You won't regret it if you do DMT with the right person as your sitter. Well, Mick, if you want to email me, tedtheatheist@gmail.com, give me some pointers of who should I look for. I'm in a college town. I should be able to find somebody, right? I have no clue, dude.
There are actually guys out there who are too frightened to get a divorce from an abusive, horrible woman because she's threatened to tell all of their mutual friends in the instance that they get divorced that he was inappropriate with their children, and so he's held hostage in this terrible marriage. Can you imagine the stigma attached to such a horrible accusation? If you're innocent and you just want to live your life, and yet the people around you think that you're some kind of monster who is inappropriate with your own children, what could be worse than that? Now,
and all it takes is an accusation. All you have to do is be accused. That's it. And people think differently of you like that. Like that's it. That's all it takes. Your whole life gone. If you can't pick up and move, then you're fucked.
Now, in this video, I'm not going to talk about men who are actually guilty, men who do sexually assault women, men who are violent and abusive, men who are inappropriate with children. Fuck those guys. Those men are what gives masculinity a bad name, and all of my sympathy goes with their victims. So let me be clear. When I say false accusations, I genuinely mean false
accusations.
False.
I'm only talking
about instances where you are completely innocent. A woman accuses you of doing something and you never did it.
Yes, that's it. Brian Banks. That's correct. Exactly who I'm talking about. That's the movie you guys should watch. It's just one example of all the damage that it did to somebody, a false accusation.
Now, here's the important thing that you need to understand before it's too late. Being innocent is not enough. Having the truth on your side is not enough.
Yep. Why is that true? Because you're guilty until proven innocent in this situation. And it's BS. Where in America, you would think the opposite, but it's not being. This is why we need men's rights. This is why we need more acknowledgement of what men are going through and what we're dealing with. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares about it. As long as nobody cares about it, no one's talking about it, then we get damaged. Right? We get shit on.
Just because you've never done anything wrong does not mean that you're safe from danger. I admit it, I am trying to scare you because the danger of being complacent about this is too big. What happens if you break up with a girl and as revenge, she goes around telling everybody that you were violent, that you were abusive, that you were always yelling at her? What if she...
I have a girl who did that. It was a girl I dated in California who tried to say I was like the worst boyfriend in the world, and she would send me like $1 on Venmo, and you can write comments on that, and she can write she wrote how bad and how horrible I was, as if I was some sort of abusive person, and I wasn't. Like imagine if that got out in the ether and more people believed it, or she actually went somewhere and said something about it, or actually had people who a circle of friends or family that heard that, and like it could have been worse. Luckily, no one checks my Venmo, right? And I was able to block her off Facebook, right? Back when I knew her, but she didn't seem like she would cray, but it kind of, I don't know.
She even tells your mutual friends that you're occasionally violent. Does it really matter then that you're innocent? She's talking about situations that happened behind closed doors. There were no independent witnesses. There's no way to independently verify your innocence.
Right, which is why finding someone guilty should be so difficult. It should be difficult because too many people are falsely accused.
The truth of the situation is of limited importance. It's just her word against yours. And because she told people that you were the aggressor and that she was the victim, people out of their just basic compassion are going to be more likely to side with her.
Because she's female, she has vagina, right? Just like when a woman, when there's danger, what happens? Men don't scream, women scream. Women are alarms. They're like alarm bells, right? They're not, this is why women shouldn't be cops. They get shot, they're on the ground screaming. They didn't get shot and they're trying to do everything they can to rectify the situation and keep on going. They're on the ground screaming. You see it in all the videos. They're just alarm bells. They're not actually... Alright, I'll stop.
That's just human nature. That's people feeling compassion.
And because of that, people respond to it. People respond to the women crying because they want to save the damsel in distress.
Passion for those in need. If you try and defend yourself and point out that you're innocent and that she is a liar, then you just end up looking bad. But even imagine the best case scenario. Your ex-girlfriend spreads all these lies and misinformation about you, but you're a great guy. You have a lot of credibility with your friends. So even...
Yeah, see, and I'm just a nobody Mick with 13K followers. Don't know if I'll ever be ever more, but yeah, I don't really have anything to worry about right now. I don't really have... I guess now I have small reputation on here, but I don't expect it to ever be tainted because I don't really interact with anyone who could be a problem.
No, they hear these horrible things about you. They don't just automatically believe them. They want to sit down with you. They want to hear your side of the story. That's fantastic. These are some high quality friends. And so you take the opportunity to explain, this is what happened. This is what...
Yeah, but know that a lot of your friends leave you and don't want to talk to you because of those assertions. And those are the low quality friends. And there's quite a few of those hanging around, I'm sure.
What really went down. After they hear your explanation of the events, they're satisfied that you're the one telling the truth. You're innocent and she's just being vindictive. That is the best case scenario, but you know what? That accusation, that never really goes away. If your ex-girlfriend tells people that you were violent, and even if they don't really believe her, somewhere in the back of their mind that's always going to exist as a possibility.
Maybe that could have
been true. All of your future actions, all of your future behavior is possibly going to be interpreted through that lens.
Yep. But if we try to be the Unky, if you try to be the knight in shining armor, they bash us for being toxic masculinity. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, chivalry's dead. Definitely.
And so soon you find yourself self-censoring. You're scared to show any frustration, any negative emotion, because you don't want people to think, wow, maybe he is a little bit emotionally volatile. Maybe those accusations that she made were true after all. It is a horrible thing. You've never been violent, and previously, up until now, nobody believed that you could be violent. But suddenly, it seems as though there's that possibility. It's all because of this false accusation, this thing that you can never permanently erase from the minds of other people. I know this is...
And it affects you psychologically. Like, you'll carry it with yourself for years, if not the rest of your life. I've heard stories of people who've been falsely accused and it really did a number in their life, and they're afraid of going out or engaging with women because of what could happen, because their idea of how things should be is shattered and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to go about things because they were doing things what they thought was right before, and it turned out it wasn't. They were being punished for something they didn't do wrong. So if they didn't do something wrong and they just think that they still know the right thing to do, but they've been shown that it's the wrong thing to do because of how they've been punished, they're going to be like, there's going to be something going on up here, a conflict. They can't go outside. They can't date women now for who knows how long. It's a total traumatic effect.
It's depressing, but that is just one of these horrible facts of reality. The negative, in this instance, has quite a lot of power to destroy. You can work for years, decades even, building credibility, building trust, establishing a reputation, and then with one lie, all of that hard work can be undermined. It's like a child who spends an entire afternoon building the sandcastle at the beach, and then some bully can come along and in 5 seconds destroy hours of hard work. That
Or a tide. Doesn't have to be a person, just could be the tide coming in.
is the power of the negative. It can't really create anything, but it can destroy what somebody else has created with very little effort. Maybe you've been falsely accused of something before. Maybe it hasn't happened to you. Maybe it never will, touch wood. But what you need to understand, and I mean...
I was falsely accused before. I was dating this girl when I was living in Los Angeles, and I would hesitate to go up sometimes to see her, or maybe I had to wait for her or something, I forget. But I would talk to the two receptionists downstairs for a minute and just joke around and stuff. And we had conversations about, I guess, one controversial topic about, I don't know what it was about, Women's Day or Men's Day or something like that. And I guess they didn't like it or whatever, but one of them made some false accusations about me wanting to invite her up to my room with my friend. She didn't know that the friend was female, so she made these accusations on paper, and they tried to not let me into the building anymore. But I was innocent. I met with them, and the whole office was female, so that was difficult. But eventually, I'm like, hey, and I talked to one of the ladies, and after I was done, I reiterated. I was like, look, I'm just letting you know I am innocent of this. I didn't do this, and I exemplified, I reeked of someone who was innocent, and I think that lady believed me, and eventually that girl wasn't working there anymore, I guess. But she apparently believed me because nothing really added up. So I didn't have anything dramatically difficult happen to my life with false accusations, but I see through like the one or two things I went through in life how easy it is for those things to happen and what they can do to you.
Really understand is that being innocent is not enough to protect you. Do not be overconfident and think that you're safe just because you have truth on your side. That's not how this game works. And if you want to protect yourself, you need to be smart. There is one action that you can take that's more effective than any of the others at protecting yourself against false accusations and horrible situations like this. I'm going to share that in a moment. But first, I
bet you can record all conversations, carry a GoPro on you at all times. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to tell you about my most recent Patreon exclusive content. It's why men like to solve problems, whereas women like to talk about them. I explain the evolutionary science, the best way to protect yourself. We've already established that being innocent is not enough. Sure, you can't be proven guilty. I mean, how could you? If you didn't do it, then there's going to be no evidence. But you can't prove yourself innocent either.
Right.
And the corrosive
you can't prove yourself innocent because you can't prove negative. So
effects of the accusation are still going to make itself felt. So what can you do to really protect yourself? Well, the answer is that you need to be absolutely ruthless with the kinds of people that you associate with. It means cutting out toxic people from your life and in no circumstances ever getting into a relationship with a low-quality woman.
Yes, low-quality woman, some woman who does not make sense, who is irrational, who has views that do not align with a rational person. Those are not someone you want to get with. I'm willing to put up with a woman who is religious only because I know that it's not really going to be not necessarily going to reflect red flags and as far as how they handle themselves every day necessarily. So, and I know that a woman being around me enough, it's going to rub off. And I know that, and just, I mean, the last girl I dated in Los Angeles, one of the last women, two of them actually, the last two that I dated were religious. This one has a preacher for a father, and she was an atheist within a couple months of being with me. It was just, I rub off. So let me read your comment here. Even when someone is proven innocent in these accusations, there's always going to be people looking at you, yep, in a bad light. That's correct. You'll always have that treatment. You're right. And there's no,
Ask yourself the question, what kind of a woman makes up lies about an innocent man? What kind of person is willing to destroy the reputation of another person simply because they're angry or they got rejected or whatever it is?
That's right, Unky. You never do. I don't know that. I know it takes years. Maybe you could. Maybe you know more than me. Maybe you know that you never really recover. You could be right. I've never had to endure that personally. That level of abuse, I've never had to endure. But perhaps you're right. I mean, I'm not going to doubt you.
Answer is a low quality woman, you know, a real nasty piece of work, somebody who has no morals, no sense of empathy, no.
Yes, that's what you need to look for. You need to look for empathy. You need to look to see how she treats other people. You know how people say you need to pay attention to how someone treats the wait staff? Like if you go to a restaurant, how someone treats the wait staff really does reflect who they are. I went out with a girl before who really wanted to go to the table, and so I'm like, well, we're fine here, but she wanted a booth. I'm like, okay, fine. And how she talked to the person, and doing that transition and other stuff, it made me see that she's full of red flags, and she's just on her best behavior with me. And how she talks to people she knows is really important. You really have to pay attention to that stuff, because you need someone. What do men want? Men want fit, feminine, and friendly, right? Friendly, someone who is reasonable, able to be nice, who was brought up right. You have to be able. You kind of have to be sort of a psychologist. You got to really be able to be educated in detecting red flags. And I don't know if there's a class out there or someone runs a YouTube channel where it's all about finding red flags. I think that'd be a good thing.
Thoughts of what is right or wrong. A woman who is incapable of taking any kind of personal responsibility, and so because you hurt her feelings, you deserve whatever she dishes out as revenge. High quality people don't do this. They don't make false accusations because they understand that honesty is an important cornerstone of a good quality life.
Yes, they put themselves in another person's shoes. Someone who's of quality. They understand that they don't want to do to someone else, they don't want that done to themselves, they don't do it to other people. So it's really important.
It's only low quality people that make up lies and slander others. If you always wear protection, you greatly reduce your chances of contracting an STD. If you always eat healthy, then you greatly reduce your chances of having diet-related medical issues. If you never date low quality women, then you greatly reduce your chances of being subject to a false accusation.
That is correct. That's really good. Mick, you can be tricked early in a relationship as people put their best self. That's correct. Putting on a front. Yeah, it's really important to be able to detect that, and I don't know how best to give advice for that, but I think having conversations and asking questions and getting their feedback on certain points is a good way to dig into that to see if that's what they're doing with you. Because I have a really good ability of detecting if someone's full of crap or not. Like, I think I'm pretty good at that.
From one of these low quality women. The best cure is always prevention, and so you should be extremely strict about who you let into your life. Are they trustworthy? Are they ethical? Are they a high quality person? If the answer is no, then keep away from them. They are too much danger. The fact of the matter is that you cannot trust somebody who does not abide by the same system of ethics as you. Yes, lots of guys will end up in relationships with low quality women, and they will suffer the consequences. And I am not victim blaming. You have my compassion. Being subject to a false accusation must be horrific. But it is important to know how this happened and what you could have done to prevent this so that it does not repeat itself again in the future. Why is it that you weren't able to recognize that she was a low quality woman? And if you were able to recognize it, why did you lower your standards so much to let her into your life? The sad answer is that probably you were lonely. You wanted love. You wanted intimacy. You wanted companionship. Maybe you've had so many rejections that you don't believe that a high quality woman would be interested in you. Maybe you don't even believe that high quality women exist, and so you just decided to settle. Again, you have my compassion if that's where you're at, but you absolutely need to sort that out. If you don't believe that you're worthy of a high quality woman, fix that, work on it, change your self-esteem, build yourself into a high quality man so that you know deep down at your core that you are worthy of the very best that the female gender has to offer. Do not be lazy and just settle for a low quality woman. The danger is not worth it. I am not kidding around here when I say that it is better to be single and celibate than be with a low quality woman. I'm talking mostly about women here, but really this advice applies in all areas of life. Don't be so desperate for money that you tolerate a toxic workplace with a horrible abusive boss. It's not worth it. The same goes for toxic family members, toxic friends. These people are not safe. It is dangerous to keep them in your life. I don't know if it's possible to protect against this danger completely. I don't know if you can ever make yourself 100% immune to the danger of a false accusation, but I do know that you can greatly reduce the risk by making sure that you only associate with high quality people, people who are honest and ethical. There is nowhere where this is more true than in the context of dating and relationships. Remember, if you want to hear more from me, I release a whole bunch of exclusive video content over on my
Yeah, that guy's pretty good. I like watching his stuff. Yeah, we just went over this guy here. We could probably watch this, but that's, I don't know. It's just, it happens all the time. Mick, I suppose learning to be a good judge of character. Yeah, that's correct. That's what it takes. I'm a bit older at 50. Hey man, I'm pretty close to you. At 50, and these things were never an issue. I've got a civic another, I think they mean, though, and I feel bad for younger men these days. Yeah. Oh, so, yeah, I expected so to be uppercase there. Yeah, I don't think I have any kids. No one's came back to me and said, "Hey, this is your kid," so I don't think I have any. I'm good. Yeah, you gotta teach your son, to look out for this kind of stuff and how to judge character and how to get the heck out of the situation as soon as you can. You don't want to be in the target of one of these females who are of low quality and who are going to try to screw your life over. You don't want that. So that's it. I just wanted to touch real quick on false accusations, and I encourage everyone to go on YouTube, do a search false accusations. See the stories, see the kind of videos I showed you just there, and how to be aware of it and how to watch out for it, because your life is not worth hanging out with a piece of poon. It's a little cray-cray. The sex is not really worth it. I don't need my women to do anything special in the bedroom. I'm very happy with the virgin. I really am. I've had them before. They're great. I don't need them to do anything. I will do all the work. I don't need any crazy stuff in the sheets. I don't have any fetishes. Pretty normal. I don't need the crazy. And if you see crazy, run. Don't try to harness it. Don't try to put a ball in her mouth or some leather on her. Just don't do it. Not worth it. So that's it. Anybody have any comments before I close out the video? And sorry, my camera quality is not too great. I'm using a Logitech webcam because I'm a paw boy. I should change my name to Ted the Paw Atheist. I have a daughter, Mick. I have a daughter who is very level-headed and has a long-term boyfriend who is a great, hardworking man. So that's awesome. Very level-headed. And now, Mick, my question is, did you raise her with attention? Did you raise her on what to look for, on how to be, and what men want, and what she should be like? Like, that's important. I'm wondering if that's how she got to be level-headed and good. It's because because children are not going to turn out awesome unless they've got a good father around, typically. Unky, I'm in Gainesville, Florida right now, for now, but I'm thinking of moving next year. After you're in a house for 2 years, when you sell it, you don't have to pay taxes on the gains. So next August, I'll be free to move. I don't know where I'm going to go yet. I'm thinking about a couple places. I'm not sure. The world's my oyster. I'll find out. I'll figure it out. I don't know. Should I go to Sarasota? Should I go to Orlando? Should I go to Colorado? I have no clue. I kind of want to stay in Florida because I hate being cold. So I'm not sure. Yeah, no, not really many street preachers around. When I was here in Gainesville 20 years ago, there were a lot of preachers on campus, and it was so easy. But now it's like they dwindled. There's really not anything to go by. So, yeah, Los Angeles was a breeding ground. It was full of them, but I couldn't stand it anymore. Los Angeles was just a shit show. I couldn't do it anymore. I had to leave. I'm never going back to California. I will never go there. I had an ex-girlfriend there who tried to get me to come back. Some rich woman. But she had 2 kids with 2 baby daddies, and she wanted me to be the third. And she was a little toxic, and likes drama, and I don't like drama. So, yeah, I don't care. I didn't go that way. So yeah, I'm here in my first house ever. I'm paying a lot of mortgage on. Very poor because I'm paying mortgage, and I don't have any more student debt though, so that's good. All my student debt's gone. Finally, my credit is like 812. So I have good credit. I have no debt, but I have a kind of a larger mortgage. So, and I've got 2 cats. I found one of my cats when I was leaving work one day. It was on a bike path. I was going towards campus from work, and it was trying to beg a couple of vagrants for food, and it was only 10 weeks old. And so I just scooped him up and took him home. And then I found a second cat at the shelter because he needed a buddy while I was away. So, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, whenever I say preacher, I'll always do it again. I don't know. I need to know where to move to. I need a good town. I need a good city. I gotta figure it out. Oh well, I have quite a few months to think about it. God, there's so many different videos and false accusations. What to do if someone's making false accusations against you? That's probably a good thing to watch. False accusations and protecting yourself. Wrongly convicted Richard blah 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 judge at hearing. Whatever. Woman who falsely accused Cedar Park man arrested. And I think lately some women are starting to be held accountable for the false accusations, but usually they just get away with it, and that's wrong. There should be laws against making false accusations and the person and you being shown to be lying. I don't know, Unky. Do you think I should make it I'm trying to do different topics, things that I think is important, things I think are important. I have a very low count of viewers, so I'm not like, I don't have the support these higher streamers have, like Sneeko and this other guy who I just showed a video of. I don't have high counts because, first of all, I'm probably not as entertaining, and second of all, I'm probably not covering as much or doing as much as I should. So I'm just trying to do more. Maybe raise my count a little bit if I can. I don't know. I'll see. I'm just trying to see what I can do. The hoverboard. It wasn't a hoverboard, man. It was an EUC, short for electric unicycle. Electric unicycle. It's the best. I rode, it was called a Sherman Max. I still have it. That's what I ride now. And I got it off of ewheels.com. And I love that thing. It was like $4,000, but it was like, it's so worth it. I love that thing. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end the stream. I think we're done. I gotta think of another topic soon. Whatever comes to me, we'll see it. Peace.